how embracing your partner's flaws can strengthen your relationship. So in today's podcast, Cece and I, we're going to go over some of the things you can do to learn to accept your partner for who they are.
That's right.
So stay tuned.
Hey, Mr. Friends, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode. I am your girl, your host, Cece, the one and only, and I'm joined by my husband. What's up, babe?
Hey everybody, this is Will. Welcome back to the Blissology Podcast. If this is your first time tuning into our podcast, it's a weekly podcast where we bring you inspiring, relatable, and relevant content every Saturday.
That's right.
And in this podcast, we talk about
love, life, family, relationship. Y'all know what we do. Glad to have you here with us today.
Hey, listen, today I'm feeling great.
Oh, I'm
really excited about the topic we're about to discuss. Listen, I think every couple goes through that.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna talk about how to accept your partner and embrace them
for who they are. That's right.
I know sometimes it's really hard to look past some of the little things that annoys us, but you gotta learn. I know someone's got issues accepting some of my little things. So today we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna break it down, and I think as we simplify dealing with our partners and really accepting who they are, it's going to make it a lot easier to grow together. So, but before we get into that topic, we're going to talk about our blissful moment, which is something that we've done this week or something that happened to us that we feel blissful about.
Okay, what's your blissful moment, babe?
We've been blessed with avocados.
Oh my God.
And I say we've been blessed, and I think our squirrels have been blessed as well. But I think they're abusing the thing. So it's avocado season. Well, not quite. I think it's more like September, but we've been blessed because I didn't think the tree was going to make this many avocados, but it did. We've been having avocados for the last week and a half, give or take. And she made guacamole. Mm-hmm. But I stopped by the store to get the ingredients. She found the recipe on TikTok. She made me smash the avocados. In fact, I'm peeling avocados, I'm putting it on the thing. Then she talks about my hands. Then she talks about I'm putting too many. This woman. But anyway, talking about accepting flaws. I have some issues. But you know, a blissful moment is we've been blessed with avocado, which is good for our health, based on what they say. Mm-hmm. We've been eating it with rice, plantain,
bulgur.
Mm-hmm. Now we've been having it with eggs, bread, actually tacos.
Yes, or taco
Listen,
night.
if you're people like ourselves, you would find anything to eat avocado with. I think we'll even eat it with water.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been good. I mean, we're enjoying it. And obviously, our family, my in-laws have some avocado trees. My mom's got some. So we're going to be into avocados for the next
It's avocado season. So therefore, you are in the season of avocado.
So when you're from the island, you appreciate avocados.
And mangoes, too. Don't get me wrong, because I love me some mangoes. But we don't have a mango tree.
I'm not crazy about mangoes.
I love me some avocado. The girls love some avocado. The girls had it with some boiled eggs earlier. So, I mean, like I said, like he said, yes, we've been blessed with avocados.
My only issue is these squirrels, they keep wasting the avocados. We've lost 7 avocados now.
Oh my God.
Listen,
babe,
I counted them, yes.
Really? That's how you really feel about the avocado?
They get, 7 whole avocados that I couldn't eat.
I can see that. I can feel it. I can see the sadness in you.
You know how much I could have done for my inside?
Listen.
You know, the squirrel will get up the tree. They'll just take 2 bites out of the avocado and they knock them down. Obviously, when they fall on the ground and so forth, they're not edible anymore. So yes, I've been counting the ones that they've wasted.
Was it one of your employees last year or the year before give you some avocados?
No, that was a client
from
our previous office. She actually followed me to the new office. That was in October. She brought me some last minute avocados. But
Did you eat them?
I don't recall if I did. I'm weird.
He has trust issues. But anyways, you know, before what you need to do is make sure you go back on the tree, and get all the avocado off the tree.
Yeah.
That would have squirgled. This is what we've been doing.
But I don't want to take... Listen, here's the problem. If I go up there right now, I get 10 avocados. They're all gonna be ripe at the same time. I don't want... I mean, I'm gonna be forced to eat more avocados than I need to. But no, that's not a bad thing. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that. But they won't last as long. I'd like to make them last. And if they stay on the tree, I could... Anyway, so much. I'm blissful. We're enjoying avocados. Please don't ask us to send you any. We will not send any avocados. But anyway, so let's get into the topic of the day. And I know I have my flaws. And we're going to talk about some of the things that we can do to accept it. And especially, I want Cece to really hear on this, that she needs to accept
what you're talking about.
The way I am. So it's important. It is important. And I think anyone who's in a relationship can actually do it. You know, we do want to keep it simple. We want to keep it real, and we want to keep it relatable, which means I'm going to share some of the things that Cece's been having issues with, which she shouldn't be having issues with me. Our goal is to give you some advice and share some experiences, especially me, and hopefully you can use that in your own relationship. Listen, whether you've recently gotten married or you've been together for a while, I'm sure you can find little things about your partner that actually irritates you.
It sure is. Listen, we all have that things, okay? We all have things that
annoys each other.
Listen, especially when it comes to this man. But I've learned to accept you for who you are.
She's learning. It's more like she is learning. She's not quite there yet. She's learning.
Baby. I'm learning to accept those things, you know. And I know those things that I've learned, they really helped me to love you more and grow.
Of course.
Stronger in our relationship. So.
Of course. And listen, accepting. Now, let me just put a side note on this.
Okay.
Some of us may have habits that must be changed. I mean, listen, when you're a grown person, there's certain things you shouldn't be doing. I know that we want to accept each other, but if you're not on time and you're grown, that's a problem. Anyway, I'll just stop there.
Well, there's some flaws that you have that I'm still I'm fighting to get over them. Mm-hmm. There's a lot that you do.
Like when I say,
oh my God. You know, there's certain things that your spouse or your boyfriend or your girlfriend does, and it just irritates your skin. And you're like, bro, like my husband has this thing. I'm like, true story. Yesterday we were on the phone. Yeah. He was driving back from work, and like I'm talking to him, and he kept saying, right? You said, right? I was like, huh. Yes, huh? And it just gets under my skin every time he says that. And I was like, babe, I don't want you to get upset, okay? I just want you to control yourself from saying it. Because if I'm talking to you, and I hate repeating myself, I just hate it. And I'm dealing with him because every time I say something, and he's like...
It's not every time.
Babe.
Sometimes.
Every time. Every single day, okay? Not a day goes by. And I'm like, am I clear enough, or am I making sense enough for him not to understand, for him not to hear me right? Yeah. Right? Because it irritates me. Even the girls can tell, even them, even my daughter sometimes be like, Daddy, you need to stop saying, I even had this thing last month where I told him, babe, every time you said, I'm going to have it do 5 push-ups. It didn't work. It didn't work. It's like he didn't learn from it. And he still
you never made me do any push-ups.
And I'm like,
but I'm working on it.
But here's the thing, babe. It's a habit that you have to break away from.
But you know, it's crazy that if I'm outside, if I'm in a different settings, it doesn't happen. I guess my comfort with Sissy is, I don't know.
Comfortable.
It's listen. There are certain ways
and
we
I was
are
like,
with our
do you
spouse
say that to your boss when you're talking to him? And he's like, no.
I don't think that happens.
It is just annoying.
But then again, when I'm not at work,
gets on my nerve.
Listen, changes in our environment, changing the way we behave, and that's probably what's going on. But it's a flaw. It's a flaw, and this is what I'm talking about. Flaws are little things again that irritates your partner, and some of them are annoying.
Like yours.
I know, you know. It bothers her
a lot,
whether it's in person or on the phone. Now, sometimes I think it happens more than others. Now, she says every time. It doesn't happen every time.
Every day it happens.
She's exaggerating.
Every day.
If every word you said, I said, we will never have a conversation.
Every day. every day.
Huh?
It's just annoying.
But the flaws are those little things, the things that bothers you. And if it bothers you, by all means, you can have a conversation about it. But sometimes it's just how the person is.
Yes.
And those, we were talking about me saying, but some flaws could be, some people don't know how to pick up their clothes. They just take them off and they leave them on the floor.
On the floor.
I think if you're a grown person, that shouldn't be a flaw that anyone should accept. I understand if you're a child, but if I'm a grown man like this and I take my clothes off, now when I take my shoes off in the garage and I leave them there, and I do go and put them in boxes and put them away. But right now, if you were to go to my garage, you find the shoes that I wore that I went to work in is actually sitting somewhere in the garage.
Yes.
But I don't leave clothes on the floor, and I don't think any grown person should. But if you find that
you shouldn't leave your clothes on the floor, you shouldn't leave your clothes on the counter. You shouldn't, even when you go to take a shower. I have left my clothes on
the counter a couple of times. There's that one night she caught me just taking them. It was like midnight. I'm just like, where you going? I'm like, I gotta take these to the laundry room. Otherwise, I'm gonna be hearing about it. But there's little things. There's never being on time, which is something that's her stuff.
Listen.
Forgetting important dates. There could be a number of things that's little flaws. Not knowing how to wash dishes, or not knowing that you shouldn't mix the white clothes with the colored ones. No, don't be pointing at me.
Yeah, you don't do that.
But there's little things like, for instance,
or not knowing that you shouldn't mix your socks with clothes.
Yeah, there's little things. Or it may just be that maybe you're too friendly with people you come across. You may be sending the wrong signal. So there's little things that your partner may be doing that irritates you.
Yes.
And sometimes we can accept. Like, for instance, if someone's a friendly person, yes, they may be friendly, but they need to know there's a limit, right?
Well, I'm going to tell you, there's a limit. Okay.
but it's good to understand that no one is perfect. We all have things we can work on.
Right.
And this is so important. We have to know that these are things that we can work on.
Right.
But sometimes we go so hard at trying to fix everything, getting upset over every little things, that we forget that we're all humans and sometimes we can miss stuff.
Yes.
So do the best you can, especially with the things that you're working on. Like I'm working on monitoring how I respond to her.
I don't think you are.
I am.
You're not.
Listen, I am working on it.
You're not.
She's so irritated that she can't see the progress.
I just don't see it. Like I had you like, come on. And it was so funny that month. I think it was last month. I'm like, okay, this is 21 days break of habits, right? Like they said, but I think now it's 66 days according to
experts.
Yeah. So, and I'm like, okay, 21 days. Let's see if it's gonna work with my husband. But unfortunately, it didn't work.
You didn't count the days.
And I was like, do some push-ups. Like if you do 5 today, 5 tomorrow, it's just. And there was a time where he was about to say it, and he cut himself and his, pulled back a little bit. And I'm like, okay, this is what I want you to do. But unfortunately, it only worked for one day, and then that was it.
Yeah, but hey, listen, we sit here. We've been together for 18 years, and we've been married for 14. I got this right. I think I did. Yes. Flaws don't have to be a deal breaker. In fact, there could be opportunities to go closer, and you'll find when you know certain things, sometimes we can build little things around that flaw to be able to get past it.
Yes. And don't forget, I know this is a podcast where we talk about social media a lot. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying
She's got something against social media.
We have nothing against social media. I'm just saying this is how we're comparing our lives with social media. We're comparing the TV lives with the reality life, right? Social media may look like everything is
perfect,
flawless, perfect, but then it's not. We have to accept each other's flaws, and and I think sometimes, I think I mentioned this earlier, that's how we build stronger. Don't let social media make you feel like what you're doing is wrong, or don't let social media make you think that I'm not supposed to have flaws. So and so I have this, and I'm supposed to be like her. I'm supposed to be perfect just like her.
Yeah, you should be perfect. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And listen, it's about how you think about those things you see as flaws, right? Instead of getting annoyed or frustrated, sometimes it's important to try to see things in a more positive way.
Yeah.
Because how you see things, you tend to treat the people that way.
That's right.
Yes, I understand. There are things that we can all work on and get better. But there's little things that's part of our personality.
Right.
They're those traits that makes us unique. And if you can learn to look at it, you know what? My husband or my wife or my partner, this is a little thing he does or the little thing she does, but that doesn't make them a bad person for this.
Right.
Maybe that's what makes them who they are.
Yeah.
Again, this is not me saying that we have to tolerate every bad habit. There are some habits I think no one should have, but there's little things we make big deal. They're not really a big deal. If we really learn to take a different perspective on how we feel about those things.
Yes. Certain habits I can't not tolerate. I'm not going to embrace the type of habits. Like the certain habits that people have, I think it's just that it would probably be a deal breaker for me if we were dating. You know, if we were dating, it would have been a deal breaker. Because at the same time, when you're being with someone for a long time, then you tend to, like you said earlier, tolerate them and accept them.
Yeah.
But if we were like dating, not married, I would probably be like, this is not gonna work for me.
Saying, huh?
Yeah, that would get on my nerve a lot. That would get on my nerve a lot.
Good thing I married you already.
Yeah, but I don't think I would stop us for that reason.
Yeah.
Maybe it would probably like drag me, like, man, this man don't listen. This man don't.
She's part of the reason I say, huh? Because I have not been.
Oh my God.
I wasn't saying that before I met her.
Say, huh?
Really?
I don't
Maybe
know.
it's a family thing.
I don't know.
You know, we talked about accepting each other and embracing it. And when you love someone, sometimes there are things you learn to tolerate.
Yes.
You learn to accept and you learn to find ways around it. Because I'll tell you, if you're picking the little things that irritates you, and that's all you focus on, you will not see all the other good things this person has. And this is where we have to learn to look beyond these things sometimes. Sometimes, not always. And we got to learn to show this person that we love them.
Yes.
And the way you could do that is to really point out those things that are good about them.
The positive.
We tend to be very loud about the things we don't like.
Yes.
And the things we like, we tend to be very quiet about them. I know it's human nature, but man, we got to change the way we look at things.
Yeah, we typically tend to look at the negative before.
Oh, yeah.
The negative always outweigh the positive.
It doesn't outweigh. We just treat it as if it does.
Well, yeah. Sure.
Yeah, because someone may have like 2 flaws and they have 200 good things in their characters. We'll just beat them up for the 2
That's
flaws.
true. That is so true.
So, but we make them feel like they're a big deal when they're really not. And this is where, if you can learn to accept some of those little things, it'll open your eyes to be able to see these other things that they're doing.
Yeah.
Because, man, you wouldn't marry someone if there weren't anything good about them. Like Cece says, I say, huh, every time. Believe me, I don't say, huh, every time. We've had many great conversations where hun was never the issue because the conversation was so great.
Speak for yourself.
But hey, listen. When you can learn to accept someone for who they are, it's one of the best feeling in the world. And it makes you feel safe. It makes the person who's being accepted for them, it makes them feel safe, it makes them feel valued, it makes them feel understood. When someone knows you accept them for who they are, they no longer have to pretend to be someone they're not. You know? And that can make your connection even stronger, because if you're in a relationship and your partners always have to put up a front, you never get the real person.
Yeah.
But if they know you're good with, hey, listen, I know you have that issue on this, you're working on it, but I'm not going to constantly give you a hard time on it because I know you're working on it.
Am I giving you a hard time?
No, you can't give me a hard time.
I should give you a hard time because I know you're not working on it.
Yeah, she didn't make me do the push-up. I guess she's not giving me a hard time.
I'm not. Now let's talk about it. That was July.
Yes, but hey, listen, when we're leading with punishment, I mean, I believe accountability is important, but those push-ups are just punishment. But that would have been good for me, though.
I know. There we
go. But hey, listen, when you know someone, when you know you're accepted for who you are, it's a weight you no longer have to carry. You could just be yourself.
Right.
And I tell you, I haven't really looked back and see exactly why I do this. It just be something that, because our conversation is always casual, and that always happened in casual conversation. Like right now, after we're done here, if we engage in kind of like business meeting and so forth, you don't hear the huh. The huh happens when we're having the casual conversations. So, and there's some liberation knowing that, hey, listen, I could be myself around my wife. Like I work, yes, I watch everything I say. But if I'm watching everything I say around her, she will start thinking, you need to relax. You're not at work. So the environment is different for me. Now, this is not me making excuses for saying, huh? Just the environment allows me to be myself around my wife. I think some of us should be able to be ourselves around our spouse. Listen, we are 8 hours just being that no flaw person. When we come home, we can let our guard down a little bit.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
You have to beat me up for saying
I don't beat you up for saying huh. I know you could beat me up for being late. Let's talk about it.
Listen, if we get into a place and we have a certain time we have to be there. Let's talk about how you beat me
up for being late all the time.
Listen, I came up from a place that time is time. I know we're from the island and time is usually... Which place is that? Listen, my home, we're on time.
That's your own structure. I feel like this has nothing to do with you came from a place.
I came from a place. Listen, my dad will not be late to any place. He'll get there like minutes early. My mom, she'll get to church 15 minutes early. So,
because she ain't got to wear makeup.
Listen, I was raised in a place that time is time. You got to follow time, and Cece is slightly different. She's like, time is not time. When we get into gathering,
I was raised in a home
where time is not time.
Where time is just time. If it says 4 o'clock, we don't have to be there at 4. We could be there at 5 or 6 o'clock.
See what I mean?
I mean, it's just an island people are never on time.
No, don't say that. We
never on time.
No, I'm from the island as well.
Well, you from a different island. This is.
But I know some of us treat time differently.
Yes,
and it all depends on what we're doing. Like for instance, Cece will get to work on time. If she's meeting with a client, she'll get there on time. But if we get into a gathering, in time we may have a meeting, then she's like, "Yeah, we'll get there. This person's not gonna be on time." But especially gathering, one excuse she says, "I'm not the one starting the event. I don't have to be there." And yes, there's some truth to that. I can respect that.
There's some truth to that.
But if someone invited me at a certain time, I would at least be there at that time. But our people's got bad habits too. They'll tell you to get there at a certain time, and you get there, they don't start until like 30 minutes to an hour later.
3 hours later.
We went to a wedding that started 3 hours later.
Okay.
We haven't been to any other wedding that started that late.
Wedding event.
That was one.
Let's talk about a party that we went to. It was supposed to start at 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Started at 8?
Yes. Like, what are we doing?
So when Cece says she doesn't want to get there on time, I understand that. But it just doesn't sit well with me.
Now, when it comes to church, maybe 15 minutes late. I will not be there like an hour late or 30 minutes late.
See,
like we've been going. If church starts at 7:30, 7:45, we're there.
I want to be there at 7:20, but I cannot make it there at 7:20 with these people.
Listen, the Lord says, "Come as you are," okay? And if I happen to be there 15 minutes late, the Lord understands.
This is Cece, and I've made peace with it. However, if I have something to do at the church where I have to be there to be the one handling it, she knows.
I will be there.
She will make sure that she's there, because there's no way I'm going to drive to the church and let her drive. We're coming from the same place. You're going to pick yourself up and be there on time.
Wake up extra early.
But I understand this, and I don't give her a hard time for it, because yes, she's right. In many gatherings we're going to, we get there and then we have to sit and wait.
Yes.
I don't mind it, because that's the one thing with me. If I'm there on time and I'm giving you 3 hours, when that 3 hours up, I'm ready to go. But if I'm with Sissy, I can't go because she was.
No, listen, this beauty takes time, okay? And I take my time with things, and you have to understand before we got married, you know, I was the type of person that will not get there on time. Point blank, period. Unless if it's work, unless if it's meeting with a client.
I knew that. I signed up for it. So
you know, and I knew it's just amazing how you and I, when it comes to time, we're very much opposite. you very much like, okay, I got to be there at 7:00, even if it starts at 7:30. I want to be there at 7:00.
If they tell me 7,
I'm like,
7.
why would I be there at 7? Am I the one starting this party? No, I'm not. No, ma'am. I'll be there at 7:30, 8:00.
So instead of getting annoyed with Cece, I've learned to appreciate it. We have fun with it. And listen, when you go to gathering and you're showing up where everybody's already there, she gets to make an entrance, and I know she loves that. So I'm there making an entrance with her as well. So.
I kind of don't, but again, I'm one of those people where I don't want all. I'm not the center of attention, that type of person. I'm not. You know that. Mm-hmm. But somehow the attention be happening to get on me. It's like it's like you're avoiding the attention, but the attention kept following you. Kept
when you want to avoid the attention, you get there before everybody.
I don't know about that. Well, that's not gonna happen. Now, on the flip side, I've learned to really appreciate how punctual my husband is.
Well, yeah, I'm a good person.
I've learned. I'm still learning, and I think even though I know he's very punctual with things, it's still hard for me to be able to work with it. When I know he's very punctual when it comes to church or certain places that he has to be there on time, what I do is I wake up an hour earlier. No, I get myself ready first, then I get the girls ready. Now we don't have to rush. We don't have to, like him. I'm in the car. You guys are coming.
Oh, that used to be the school
always
thing.
what he does.
The school thing, yeah. Mm-hmm,
yes,
the school.
So I've learned that if he has to be there at a place on time, and I don't want him to look, like hey, it's his fault, or look at it, Will and his family rushing through or whatever. So that's what I've been doing. Waking up like a couple hours before, making sure that we ready, and then. Which we've been doing pretty good.
We talk about accepting and embracing flow, but how can we do that? Because I know some things are easier said than done. So we've got some tips, some easy tips, some of the things that we've done in our own relationship that helps us tolerate each other.
Yes. I want to say the first thing is to try, ladies. Try as much as you can to see your partner's flaw in a positive way.
Huh?
See what I mean? Instead of we do it. Instead of thinking of this is so annoying, ask yourself, how can I appreciate this of them, this part of them? I mean, I'm trying to appreciate this, but at the same time, it's a struggle, and I'm aware of it, and he's aware of it.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean
there's something about it. We're trying here.
We still, it's still okay to remind this person that this is one thing that they can continue working on.
And I think it's so important because we communicating. And I think if I just let it go and let it keep getting under my skin, then my husband will be like, okay, everything is fine. But if we talk about it, I'll let you know, hey, babe, listen, every time you say, it really gets under my skin. But it really does. I don't like repeating myself. I don't like it. I just think it's annoying. The same way I tell my daughters, like, if I tell you once, if you don't hear me, then I'm going to tell you the second time, just so I make sure you understand, you get it. But when it comes to my husband, I know he is just so amazing. It's funny
sometimes she thinks I do it on purpose.
Listen, sometimes, okay, I appreciate you. I'm accepting you for who you are. I'm trying, okay? But at the same time, I truly feel like sometimes you do be hearing me, but you just want me to repeat myself.
I don't know, but maybe
Perfect example. Friday night. Was it Friday or Thursday night? You were driving home and we're talking, and then you said and then you answered a question. And I was like,
the was not because I didn't hear you. I don't know. Something happens. But you know what? If something really bothers you, talk to your partner about it.
Yes, communication.
Do it kindly though, and without criticism. Because when you do it from a criticism standpoint, you can bring emotions and so forth. So instead of being critical or harsh, explain how you feel about it. And I'm glad that you made it clear that you do not like repeating yourself. And whenever I say this, it forces you to repeat yourself.
Right.
So, mention to a person why it matters to you. And obviously I'm making a conscious effort, but a lot of this thing happens without me thinking. This kind of open communication can help you both understand, how to move forward from this point on.
Yes. I get it.
Yeah. And changes takes time. You know that. Give your partner the time and the support they need to get the work.
I agree.
Because these things don't happen overnight. it's going to take some time, and none of us are perfect. That doesn't mean it's always going to happen the way that we want it.
Right.
There may be some days that I slip and I said a few times, but there may be days that I don't say it at all eventually. But I'd say if your partner is giving you time to work on something, actually work on that thing.
Listen,
Very important.
Listen, yes, put some action into it.
Yeah, actually work on that thing, because it's good to understand that my partner's giving me some grace. Let's make sure I give him some grace by showing them that I'm doing the things that I need to do.
I would love to say that from you, though.
I haven't said since we started this podcast.
Okay, again, you talk about when we are having some kind. Did you just say that earlier? Exactly my point. Yes.
Yeah.
I understand nobody's perfect. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. It takes time. In due time, you'll be better.
And don't forget, it's important to focus on the positive. What are the things you like about your partner? Sometimes you need to remind yourself of all the good things. Mm-hmm. And not let yourself get stuck on the flaws. Mm-hmm. It's about keeping things in the right perspective.
Listen.
And I know I mentioned it earlier. Once we see flaws and all we allow ourselves to see is flaws, then all we will see is flaws.
Yeah, and there's some people who have worse flaws than just there's burping. There's
I've got
farting,
some other stuff too.
Listen, my husband don't just have one flaw, okay? The is not just it, y'all. And I'm sure I have other flaws. I don't know. I'm trying to keep it feminine. Listen, I know sometimes if you guys know my husband, right? He's all about business. It's all serious, right, babe? Look at the face. He's like, come on, baby, let loose. And I know the girls have a name for it. And they call it, what is it called again? Belle?
Fun meter.
Yes.
I have a fun meter.
Fun meter. What is the fun meter, baby?
Like if you put your arm and like put one arm at the bottom, put one arm facing up, then you gotta see how if it tilts all the way to the bottom like this on your hands, then that means you have no fun. If it's like this, that means you have fun.
Oh.
Okay, so I got to keep my fun meter this way, not this way. So now it's no fun. Now it's fun.
That's right. And they want you to keep that up all the time.
I can't walk around with my arm like this.
Yeah, so keep your fun meter up and
Okay.
listen and stop being all serious.
I keep my fun meter up. I didn't know I had one, but I guess I do have one.
Yes, the girls told you that you had
You
one.
have mentioned this to me a few times, but I never asked how to raise the fun meter. So
Now you know.
go from here to here.
Now you know.
Anyway, so keep things light, keep things fun, and
Thank you, baby.
yeah, we got schooled on fun meter. But
You
yeah, it's
got
important to
schooled
keep things
on
like
fun
humor make things a lot lighter.
Yes.
And if you can find humor in the things that are happening in your relationship,
Yes.
you'll avoid all these craziness, those things that irritates you. You'll learn to just smile and laugh and move forward. Mm-hmm. So, as we've discussed all of these things, I think the main point we're trying to get to is learn to accept your partner's flaws. And it's really about love.
That's right.
Right. Although I've said some flaws shouldn't be. I think there's certain things some grown people are doing that shouldn't be doing them. Mm-hmm. But you can help them get beyond them, or maybe help them correct them in a way that's supportive, as opposed to a way that's harsh and constantly criticizing them.
Yes.
But, it's all about, let's see what you can do to keep loving each other, helping each other change in a loving way.
Yes.
It's about building a strong relationship.
That's right.
Both of you to feel valued and accepted.
Right.
When you accept your partner's flaws, flaws and all, not just some and not others. Although I still think there's certain things some grown people shouldn't be doing. But when you learn to accept your partner's flaws and all, you showing them that you love them with no condition.
That's right.
I just love you. You've got issues, but I still love you. You piss me off, I still love you. That makes the relationship much stronger.
Yes, I agree.
And knowing that you love your partner just the way they are.
Yes.
And your partner loves you just the way you are.
That's right.
When we talk about building relationship that lasts, listen, there's no relationship without issues. I think that's clear, and everybody should know that.
Right.
So when you run into unusual things in your relationship, the goal is to find ways to deal with them. Mm-hmm. And flaws, yes, sometimes accepting them makes it a lot easier to deal with them.
Right.
So look at your relationship and look at the little things that annoys you. And ask yourself, can I find ways to change the way I view these things? Or maybe the way I've been approaching my partner to change them, maybe I can take a softer approach.
Oh,
maybe I can
good.
take a more supportive approach.
Yes.
Maybe if they're doing something, maybe instead of just beating them up whenever they do it, but you remind them this is what we talked about. Don't do it in a way that beat the person up, but do it in a way that lift them up.
That's right.
Find little times where they've done better and lead with that when you have to give them some feedback.
That's good, babe.
You know, last week you were doing this, so I know you kind of missed it today, but I know you're working on it.
That's right.
So don't do it again.
Listen.
And listen, I know we've talked a lot about some of the things that we've done and some of the things that we're working on and some of the ways we feel about those things. And I'm hoping that this gives you something to look. Maybe you can find them in your relationship and maybe you can change your views about them. But in all, I just want to say thank you to all of you who tuned in today. And again, I hope this talk we've just had, you find it useful. And maybe there's something that you've gotten from it that you can use in your own relationship. Yes. Now, if you like this episode, please leave us a comment and share it with your friends.
Yes.
And don't forget to subscribe. Because we don't want you to miss the next video we put out.
That's right.
So we love hearing from you. So keep those questions and stories coming.
Yes.
Until next time, peace.